If you had to make a list, guys who seem like they're willing to put themselves out there to be the best player in the world, who would be on your list? Not guys who are, but guys who really seem like they're going for it. They don't turn anybody down, you know.
What, in NL?
Yeah.
As I said before, I think Isaac Haxton, he wants to play everyone. Like, he seems to be hungry for it, and he's 4-betting every hand. So he's definitely up there.
Well, you have Genny.
He's obviously a great tournament player. He's not a cash player, so
right.
Or he might play a little bit of PLO. But if you're talking NL, the only person I can think of is
Patrick.
See, Patrick's a little, like I said earlier. He's obviously he's been 10 years playing No Limit, so he used to play obviously super aggressive like all the Scandies do.
Yeah.
But now Patrick's a bit tighter. I see him check calling a lot and stuff like that.
He calls a $400,000 bet with King High.
Yeah, he could.
That's not a nit, is it?
No, that's not a nit. I'm not. But that's just the way that pot was played. His King High was good there, quite a lot.
Yeah.
It was 100k into 300k.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, obviously it was a good call. The pot was played well. I don't think King of Cards played it that well, but yeah, I'm not calling Patrick a nit or anything like that. I'm just saying his NL style is he realises that you don't have to be a maniac to win in NL. You can just be quite tight, and then you'll still get a lot, or you'll still get some.
Yeah. We covered a lot. What else? Oh yeah. Let's talk about this bling. You wear a Jakey. Now, is that you wear jewelry? You like nice cars and stuff like that. Is that style or is it character or what?
I suppose when you just, I know it's rude to say or whatever, when you just come across all this money, when you're winning like 100 grand in a day or stuff like that, you want to just spend some of it sometimes. So.
Who's the first person you ever saw wear a Jakey? I mean, that's almost become kind of synonymous with you.
Jake's been around for ages.
I've never heard of him.
It's not Jakey. I just said that once in an interview and it just caught on. But it's Jacobs and Co. watches.
Right.
I used to watch MTV and see Jay-Z's Jacobs watches, but when I was like 15 and stuff. So
right.
They've been around for 10 years at least, I'm sure.
So do you remember when you decided, all right, I'm going to have one of those?
No, it wasn't really like, oh, I'm going to have one of those, except I did see a sick one, which now I do have. I did think that back then, but it's more like, actually the day I bought the Jacobs watch was a funny day. I was in the Bahamas, it was this year. And
PCA?
Yeah, PCA, and I just lost $1 million, so I was like, fuck this, I'm just going to go spend some money instead of losing any more. So, yeah.
These numbers, I mean...
It doesn't sound real, does it?
But if you don't think like that, I mean, you started with very little, you ran it up. If you're not willing to lose those amounts, you can't win those amounts? Or
exactly,
what?
Yeah. You've got to be willing to lose, for sure.
And do you have trouble with people in your life who don't play poker, them saying, oh, what are you doing, that sort of thing? Or have they accepted it? You know, with the numbers and all that.
I don't understand.
Well, like, does anybody, your friends or family, they say, I just read you lost $1 million?
Oh, right, yeah. I did get that for a while, like with friends and family and stuff.
What numbers still kind of scare you a little bit? I mean, you said just talking about you win or lose $1 million. It can happen.
Yeah.
Most you ever lost, was it a bad day? I mean, did you...
It was that day. I've actually lost $1 million on 3 different occasions in a day, so I've had that feeling a few times. It's fucking brutal.
What do you do, just go to bed?
Well, luckily I was in the Bahamas one of the time and I bought a watch and then went out and partied, so it made me feel a bit better. But yeah, bed's normally a good option.
And what about the big winning days? Are they as high as the bad days are low?
It's tough to say. They're definitely very high. They definitely make you feel very good and stuff like that. So you definitely remember the bad days more than you remember the good days. 'Cause I know I've won like $500,000 loads of times in a day, but I can't even remember one of those days off the top of my head now, but I know it's happened.
Right.
But I can remember the 3 days where I lost $1 million, so you definitely, the bad beats stick in your mind.
If you don't deal with these numbers, if you just don't play with these big numbers, do you think that you can't get to the top? I mean, are there some people who are too scared of big numbers to even get to the top?
Yeah, you have to definitely be taking shots. You have to be playing big numbers if you want to be getting to the top, obviously, unless you're Peter Eastgate or someone and you fluke a main event and bink 10 million, then you're at the top without having to have put too much in.
Who are your poker heroes, or who are your heroes in general?
Kiefer Sutherland, Jack Bauer, basically, he's my hero. Everyone in the cast of Entourage.
And you've got an entourage a little bit, don't you?
Kind of, yeah. Who are my other heroes? In poker, I don't really have any heroes. Obviously, I respect loads of players.
Yeah.
Jealous of Ivy's and Antonius's wealth. Yeah.
Is wealth the only way to prove if somebody's the best, do you think?
I don't know. Well, if they've won it from poker, probably, yeah. If they've just got it from getting a massive deal, getting a percent in full tilt, like with someone like Howard Leder or Chris Ferguson, they're obviously worth a hell of a lot. But as I said, someone like Isaac Caxton, I think they're a much better player than those two that I just mentioned.
If somebody created some kind of format where it was going to be, let's even say it was winner take all, and you were happy enough that the format was going to not leave it down to luck, it was going to be mostly skill, what would you be willing to put up as far as, I don't know, percentage of your worth? I mean, how much would you be willing to commit to prove you're the best?
I don't really need to prove I'm the best. I know I'm really, really good myself. I know I'm one of the best myself. Anyone who's played me knows I'm really, really good. So if you're asking me how much do I have to pay to prove to the railtards on full tilt that I'm the best, I'm not going to pay anything. I don't owe anything to them. I don't have to prove anything to them. But on another matter, if you're just asking me how much, if I thought it was no luck at all and I could win, I'd put up like 50% of my roll.
Premier League's being put together this year in Las Vegas, and there's been rumors that you might be considered for it. I mean, you're talking Durr, you're talking Helmuth, you're talking Tony G and Negreanu, perhaps, big names.
Yeah.
Does that appeal to you?
It definitely appeals. Obviously, I've done really well in all these TV formats that I've played so far. I played 3 or 4 of them, and I've won every heat.
Yeah.
I haven't done so well in the finals of them, but anyway, so yeah, I'd fancy my chances when I do, or if I do get on that. But obviously, it's not like a heads-up NL cash game where you got 100 big blinds you can reload. This type of thing is a little bit more luck-orientated than heads-up cash. And
what about the chance that these guys are going to try and talk you down? I mean, can Helmuth and Tony G, could they take you off your game?
I think everyone's got this illusion that Tony G's, after he did a couple things like 15 years ago, that he's this big mouth talker, shit talker or whatever. He's a really nice guy, he's not really like that. So that's just going to be banter if we're at the table together. It's not going to be like, I'm going to be all scared because he's saying something, anything like that. But
if you played in the Premier League and did well, that would be that would mean a lot, wouldn't it? As far as, you know, the world goes, as far as cementing your reputation.
Yeah, of course. When I do play and I do well in it, they will see. Yeah, and they'll see when I'm in the Poker Million, and they'll see when I get back on full tilt and I'll heads up. Yeah, it's all coming.
Good luck, Luke.
Cheers.